I just want to get on YouTube and say how sorry I am recently for talking about an officer who was in doing his job and approached me, though he didn't have my Miranda rights read to me, and though he strip searched me. I think he was just trying to act on behalf of the community. Uh, for why should I think that we have any rights when the Supreme Court has allowed sleaze over our TV and radio waves, and on network and cable shows, channels and whatnot? I was just watching a Burger King commercial, and this is the second Burger King commercial I've seen. And she had so much cleavage, right centered, the camera smack centered right down upon her. I'm like, oh my. Why should we think that we have Miranda rights? Why do we think we have any rights when the Supreme Court considers free speech to be something that is here to inundate us and to cause malfaction upon us and our families? I have a question for those Supreme Court justices who voted in favor of free speech for sleaze over our TV. And this was on network television. And it's February the 28th, 2012. And these commercials are just bombarding the local networks here in town over high definition broadcast. I'd like to know, how can I expect my children to feel like that they're physical beings, not physical beings, they're beings, spiritual beings having a physical experience? How can I explain to them that the highest courts in the land disregard our ability to have privacy and confidentiality within the confines of our own house? Because if we wanted to see that, we could go on the internet, we could go on any other privatized channels on cable TV and whatnot. It was demeaning to that actress. I don't know how she could have let some director or high-paid budget of a fast food franchise. Or was she going for the Guinness Book of World Records? Okay, explain that one to me. How a woman would allow herself to be prostituted on TV or in front of a whole millions of people now have seen her this way. The Supreme Court needs to defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That means pornography, R-rated movies and shows, terribly written scripts that are designed to make a fast buck at the expense of our sensibilities, against our learning, against our mental health in our communities. These producers and Hollywood moguls, if I was an actor and they tried to hire me to be in that movie, boy, would I try to mess up their movie. Okay, so one thing I'm going to say is, this is on the eve of another recent shooting of another he's probably someone over the age of 18, but that was on television today. But this is another incident of a person who has succumbed to dark power. And we see these individuals popping up now and dropping like flies because they're succumbing to dark power. And one thing we don't need right now is the Supreme Court affirming that there needs to be sleaze over our airwaves, because that's going to help the enemy. That's going to help people like this youngster who just went on this shooting rampage and killed I don't know how many people. I'm going to look it up because I haven't followed the story. And I just want to apologize to the American Red Cross. I've been to their Real Heroes Award banquet 4 years running now, but I missed last year. And I think I'm lucky that I wasn't there that night, or for that dinner. The mayor, Mayor Putnam here in town, gets up there and discusses how Real Heroes Award Banquet Day is a national day for the town of Winnemucca. Every year they award dozens of awards to people who in the line of duty have gone through astronomical challenges and difficulties, but have come out on top and have produced an amazing result, saved lives, rescued animals, given generously to their local community when no one would have suspected them. Um, and I'm glad I wasn't there that night. There had been another shooting that night. I just found out a few months ago. That night, the National Guard, or not the National Guard, but the local members of the Guard here in Nevada who were scheduled to be there that night, someone had gone in and shot, I think 8 of them. 5 to 8 of them are now dead. The gunman now shot himself. I'm like, maybe it's a good thing I wasn't there that night. I hope that they got the award for being in the line of duty. Our National Guard. Of course, we don't have a local state militia. We don't have very many, especially in Nevada. We don't have a lot of people who are prepared and know how to use firearms, who could support their mayor, their governor of their state, or anything locally, who know how to handle a situation long before the National Guard get here. How someone could go into the National Guard and shoot these people and they were not prepared for it. Will someone please explain that one to me? I'm wondering if it's safe to go to the Real Heroes Award banquet anymore. Anyway, I will get off the airwaves. It was just very disheartening that anyone would attack these good-willed people who've been serving our state of Nevada for years and years and years, and silently and patiently standing not in front of the tomb of the unknown soldier on honor guard, but in front of our cemeteries and our mausoleums here locally, not in favor for death, but in favor for life God has given us, the life we find from our law and from obeying and honoring and sustaining a law of the land. I don't know if there are warning signs for this individual. I'd never followed the story, but I know that they were some of the finest citizens here in Nevada, because I had seen some of them there in the Real Heroes Award, a banquet ceremony that happens every August, and it's a great dinner, and I hope everyone will come each year and support it and give money to the auction every year. There, after the dinner, there's usually a play put on by the local high schoolers, or there's an auction. Susan Boyles, or whoever the lady who made the Fabergé eggs, usually was there at the auction, although she had died in a car wreck about 3 or 4 years ago. Though she had passed away, one of her eggs that she displayed, and I'll show you. I'm going to get one. I'm going to get the egg. Here's her egg. Here, let me set it on the table so it stops shaking. If you can see that, I'll turn off some lights. Some of her Fabergé eggs are displayed at the White House, and one of her eggs is entitled "Once in a Blue Moon." And Sarah Brickman sings on her album Dive, "When the moon is high, passion never dies, if you want me for all a lifetime." This little egg here was about to be thrown out, but I was able to salvage it at the thrift store before it got smashed or crushed in the bags that it was in. Her eggs are actually more elaborate and bigger than this by far. This is just a little piece that she had made, and I think it's really cute. It looks like there's like a little, and can you see it now? A little mother squirrel in there. And her eggs are very ornate. Some people have, at the Real Heroes Award banquet, they bought them at a good price, and they were well worth it. And she's not here with us, but I think her spirit is always with the American Red Cross and the Real Heroes Award. She donated her work. Of course, she died on a blue moon. It was a December month, and it was on a blue moon that she had passed away. And I had seen about 4 of her different eggs, and I specifically remember this one as being one of her work, something that she had made. And if any of you have her eggs, hold on to them, because you really did spend your money well and help support the American Red Cross. All of us should know CPR and refresh our skills once every 2 years. The classes that I have taken here locally are amazing, and I learned so much about CPR, and I continue to go because I refresh my skills I'd like to continue to go. I refresh my skills immensely when I show up at those classes and keep up on the latest. Like it used to be 2 breaths to 30 sternum chest compressions. Maybe that's still the way it is. Thank you for listening to this segment, and until next time, stay well.